He has worked at Princess Diana Health Center 4, worked with Accent Uganda and TASO, implementing Train Uganda, where he participated in surgical care programs for cleft lip and cleft palate, supporting life-changing operations for children and adults. Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. Under Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, he has served for 3 years, supporting surgical theatre operations and patient care in a major referral facility. Leadership experience. Candidate Solomon Epuru has served as the Mayoral or chairperson of TEMSA, where he provided leadership and oversight to medical schools across the region, advocating for training standards and coordination among institutions. Join me in welcoming candidate Solomon Epuru to this debate. So far, those are the 2 candidates we have received in the House. As I said, tonight we expect to have 7 candidates debating, and we'll introduce them or more as they come through. But I want to take this opportunity to welcome the moderator of tonight's debate as he takes up his seat. The moderator of the debate tonight is none other than Mr. Peterson Hiria. Peterson Hiria is a journalist. He works with TESO Broadcasting Services Radio, that's TBS, and he will be moderating the debate tonight. Once again, I want to thank the audience that have arrived so far, and we appreciate you for coming. 39 minutes have gone after 8 p.m. and we want to begin our debate as we wait, or as we hope for other candidates to also join us as we move along. I want to take this opportunity, Aisukunyunu Aisikere, Toma Ainaptan Wajas Niatimo Nandolo, Asolete Aitegari debate. Putting a corporate microphone na Ninja moderator for the debate. Yalama.
Thank you so much, MC. I want to say thank you so much, the audience listening online and wherever, for following these debates. I also thank the TESO journalists for community empowerment, Take Force, and all partners. Straight away we get to the rules. I also thank you candidates, the 2 of you that have made it here. Our rules: 1, we expect you to use respectful language, respect each other. You'll be given 5 minutes for the introduction, and some other questions will be you'll need to answer within 3 minutes. You will answer a few questions to do with your manifesto. You shall also ask your understanding of the local government and laws and some policies. And later on, we shall have crossfire where we ask each other questions. That's how we shall proceed. But for now, I want to start with candidate Solomon. You briefly tell us the key issues that inform your decision to contest in this for the position, and why the people of Soroti State East should entrust you the office of Division Mayor. Thank you. You have 5 minutes to respond.
Thank you so much, the organizers of this debate. Once again, my name is Solomon Epuru. I'm a candidate for Soroti City East Division, as well as the flag bearer of the National Unity Platform. You've asked me a very wonderful question. Number one of the reasons as why I decided to come in for this position is to fight against corruption in the city. When you look at Soroti City, there are a lot of issues that are happening in Soroti City that needs a brilliant leader. Number one, when you look at the land in Soeria Primary School, that land has been sold. That land has been sold by mafias. That land has been sold by juntas. That land has been sold by the people who are not patriotic, people who do not wish Soroti City to develop. Number two, when you look at Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, corruption in Soroti Regional Referral Hospital is becoming rampant. Corruption starts from the gate. For you to park your bicycle, you have to pay 1,000 shillings. For you to park your motorcycle, you have to pay 2,000 shillings. Those are the issues I'm going to come and address. The other one is surgical procedures. For you to be operated in main hospital, you have to pay money. Where does that money go to? So I'm coming in to fight against corruption. When you look at Soroti main market, it has been branded by MTN. Where does that money go to? Okay? The other one is addressing the issues concerning security. As we speak right now, there is a security alarm that is happening in the city. Just of recent, Electoral Commission through Uganda police trained and actually trained these police constables. But these people, we are crying issues of a walk, but these police constables have instead turned into a walk. When it reaches at night, when these guys get you at night, they remove everything that is in your pocket. So those are the issues that I'm coming to address. The other one is skilling the young people, training them, because we have a lot of issues here in the city. When you look at the young people, they are not employed, they are unemployed. We shall introduce skilling projects per each ward, whereby we shall train these young people in their respective wards so that we equip them with knowledge and skills so that they will be in position to take care of their lives, to take care of their families. The other one is infrastructure in the city. Soroti City is the only city in Uganda without a roundabout. Soroti City is the only city in this country without a roundabout. When you look at Kumi just came of recent, and it has got one of the powerful roundabouts in the country. So infrastructure, and then the other one is traffic lights. Soroti City needs traffic lights because in order to reduce the jam in the city, traffic flow, traffic control. Those are the things. And the other one is waste management. Waste management is not proper in the city. When you look at waste management, let me take you through the stages of waste management. I'm expert in health and I understand. When you talk about waste, that is where I belong. The first stage of waste management is minimization. You first minimize waste before you manage it. The second stage of waste management is collection. Then after collection, you go to storage. Storage, you go to treatment. Then after treatment, transport, and then final disposal. Those are the stages of waste management. Waste is not supposed to be disposed anyhow. There are steps that are supposed to be considered before you dispose waste. And waste is supposed to be put in order. There are different types of waste that we have. Number one is infectious waste. It should not be mixed with non-infectious waste. We have radiographical waste. You cannot mix radiographical waste with highly infectious waste. So this waste, if I'm given the opportunity, I will ensure that waste is segregated accordingly, not just dumping it anyhow, like the way it is happening in the city. Thank you so much, Peterson.
Thank you so much, Candidate Solomon. We get to Candidate Wilfred. What informs your candidature and what are the key issues that you bring to the table as a candidate?
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. Once again, my name is Onyango Wilfred, one of the 7 candidates aspiring for Eastern Division mayorship. Before I talk about issues that guided me through, I want to talk about this. First, I want to congratulate those ones who went through the previous elections, and most especially my members of parliament. Bwana Peterson, there are majorly 3-4 issues that I need to talk about before I can talk about what I intend to do if given opportunity.
You have 5 minutes, so
yes.
You're wasting your time.
The first issue is to do with unity. I'm coming in as an independent candidate. And when you look at the current council, we have been having situations where the mayor does not work well with his councillors. And time and again, the speaker has been throwing him out. And why? People politic from day one up to the last day. And for me, I'm saying, as an independent candidate, my role is to work with whoever is going to be elected. All these councillors who are going to be coming in, what should unite us are the challenges that we are observing outside there, not the parties. We have been having situations where the mayor does not work well with his members of parliament. And yet these members of parliament are ex-official members in that council. There are areas where we, mayor and his council, actually implement. But there are also areas where we need our members of parliament to be closer to us. The other area is that we've had situations where the mayor of the division does not work well with what? The city mayor. And yet most of our resources pass through the mother council. So, as an independent candidate, I believe I am that unifying factor if actually the division has to develop. The other thing I want to talk about is the issues to do with leakages of revenues in this town. We have several revenue sources in this town, but because they are leaking is the reason why we have the smallest budget, both at the division level and even the city level. Soroti City has a budget of 27 billion shillings this current year. Eastern Division, it is about 3 billion. Other councils, like the districts, Soroti District has a budget of 35. Serere 43, and yet if you compare those 3 councils, it is Soroti City that has revenue sources. So the question is, what is happening? What is making our budgets low is those leakages I'm telling you. There are revenue sources which are not captured in the work plans of council. There are revenue sources that actually collect a lot of monies, but only little is passed over to council. So some of those are issues that need to be addressed before we talk about these other challenges we have within the communities. The other area is when you look at our current budget, administration eats up over 83% of the budget. Now, leaving us with only about 16-17%. It means that this kind of budget is more of actually it services the administrators more than the community. 16% left is not money enough that can offer services. So those three areas, together with the corruption, the little money that goes through, a lot of it is actually money squandered. So those are reasons, according to me, that if they are not well addressed, we can't begin talking about fixing the challenges that we shall be talking about in our budgets. Thank you very much, Madam Peterson.
Thank you so much. Well, next, though related, candidate Solomon, what are the key priorities that we intend to handle in Soroti State East Division?
Thank you so much. One of the key priorities, number one, is health. When you look at health, health is the most important priority that we must tackle. And if we don't handle health, all these other ones might not come in. Because when you talk about health, you've mentioned something that has touched the common man, the taxpayer. If a taxpayer is not healthy, he cannot pay taxes. If someone is not healthy, he cannot do anything. So that's why health will be one of the priorities. Now, I want to take you to Princess Diana Health Center 4. I worked in Princess Diana Health Center 4 for many years. And I managed to identify the key challenges. Number one, Princess Diana Health Center 4 lacks an operating theater light. An operating theater light is a very important equipment in theater. And if it is not there, most especially when you're dealing with highly hemorrhagic surgical procedures, if the operating theater light is not working, or if it is not there, then it becomes difficult for that procedure to become successful. That is number one. Number two, Princess Diana Health Center 4 lacks a suction machine. And a suction machine is a very important equipment in theater. The other one is staff houses, where nurses, midwives are supposed to sleep. They are few. The other one is staff, the medical staff in Diana. You find a nurse who worked from morning up to evening is the very person who is going to work at night. Okay, how do you expect such a person to deliver good services in the health facility? Okay, so that is one of the priorities that I'm going to handle if I'm given the opportunity. Thank you. The other one, number two, is the issue concerning security. Security in the city. We have areas in the city. Take for example like Aloet. Place like Aloet Ward has got no street lights. And these people who do bad things, the walks and so on, they like doing them in hidings. Now, if we put theater or the street lights in those areas, we shall ensure the security will be will be tackled, and it would have been handled. The other important aspect is infrastructure. Infrastructure is a very important thing. You find it is all in the central ward, majorly central and the nearby wards like Morapesu ward. I'm seeing some tarmac there. But when you look at Aloet or Tatai, Achetigwe, those areas have been abandoned. Okay, so all those places also need what? They need to be tarmacked. The other key aspect is creation of daily markets in some of these wards. When you look at area like Aloet, areas like Achetikwen, those places have got no daily markets. The other one is accountability. We have people in the city here who have failed to deliver accountability, most especially the tenderers.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Thank you.
But I need to say priorities, but you seem to be extending to. What do you prioritize? We've been joined by candidate Moses Onyait of the People's Front for Freedom, PFF. Welcome. But let me get to candidate Wilfred. Your priorities
If given
for Soroti State East.
opportunity, my priorities are going to be, among others, the following. 1, physical planning, replanning this city to suit the city status. The plans we still use are the other ones of the town councils and municipalities. Moderator, if you went round here, you will be informed that the need for commercial spaces in this town has increased. We don't have those spaces. You will find residential houses now hosting businesses. So we need to replan this city. Together with this, extension of power in many of these areas where we don't have tap water
it's okay.
is also a priority. The other area is to do with the health. When you look at our health centers, we should be now talking about upgrading them. Some of them started as health center 1, 2, 3, but the space, the staffing, and many of those requirements are right now. We have shortages. So mine will be, if these health centers can be upgraded, we shall end up with staffing, equipment, and of course the budget will also improve. Many of these centers around that time, the planning was for only within, but people as far as Gweri are using these centers in town, so it means some upgrade is required. Our schools, visit some of these schools. What do we need? The renovation of these schools. We need more teachers. We need more toilets. These schools need to be fenced. Some of them actually they are. You go to a school like Morapesco. We need to fence these schools. There are wards without primary schools. Ours will be pressed so hard so that primary schools can be put. There are wards without health center 2s, according to government policy. Every ward must have what? A health center 2. So mine will be at least basing on that, on the policy of government, have these facilities in those wards. The other area is to do with the markets. And like I say, the number of business persons is increasing. The space is not there. But also, we have gazetted markets. One of the things within the first two months that I will do is to reallocate the spaces in these markets. We have gazetted markets, but the spaces were allocated to people who don't do business. So, and that's the reason why you see people scattered. Time and again, people are being chased on the streets. We are trying to bring with the trade order, but alternatively, you're not helping these people see where to put their businesses in town and in Soroti City. We are looking at making a business person comfortable.
Yes.
We depend on them as politicians, as council. But when you keep on stampeding them left and right on the streets without giving them space, it becomes an issue. So mine will be reallocate. The bus park is not even being constructed. Why? Over 60-70% of the allocations went to people who don't do business. That's why it's not progressing. Mine will be reallocation to people who do business.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your response. I get to candidate Moses Onyait. We missed you, Professor. I'll give you 3 minutes for us to understand who is Moses Onyait.
I want to say thank you. I want to begin with apologizing for having come late. I am sorry. First of all, my name is Onyait Moses. I am a businessman in Soroti Main Market, and I'm one of the contestants for the position of mayor in Soroti East Division. And my party is People's Front for Freedom. I reside in Mayoral, at the central C. That is where my home is situated. And today, I am here to present myself to you, seeking the mandate of the people, so that I become their mayor in Soroti East Division. I have gone to school, my primary. I studied in Soroti Primary School. Thank you. My secondary school, I went to Erimu College. Then I went to Alliance High School. I am a UCE certificate holder. Like I told you that I'm a businessman, I had so many departments, actually, and organizations and associations. Number one, I am a chairman of the business community in Soroti Main Market. Number two, I am a chairman of the cattle traders and butchers in Soroti City. I am also a chairman of COFTU, Eastern Region. That is a central organization for trade unions in Uganda. So that is who I am. I am married, I have children.
Thank you. We now get to what are the key issues that inform your decision to contest for Division Mayor Soroti East?
You come again?
What are the key issues that inform your decision to contest for the position of Division Mayor Soroti East?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. The key issues that made me to make a decision to contest as a division mayor in Soroti East, actually there are so many. Number one, I happened to be in Soroti Main Market before that construction took place, and after the construction, all the vendors were supposed to be back in the market, but very unfortunately, so many challenging issues happened from there, and actually that is where I made my decision. I said, I think I should contest as a leader in Soroti City so that we fight so many things. Among so many issues that are a challenge in Soroti City, according to my own observation, is corruption. Soroti City has a lot of corrupt officials, and our leaders as well are corrupt. So why I have contested is I want to fight corruption, just like I did that fight in Soroti main market. I want to fight corruption. That is one. And then two, I want to give the people of Soroti City East Division value for the revenue that they pay. There are so many challenges people are facing in Soroti City East. One of them is we don't have good roads. We don't have good roads. That is one of them. Number two, our security. Our security is wanting. There are so many dark places in Soroti City East. And as a mayor of the division, I have a role that I'm supposed to play. I was hearing my colleague, he was articulating issues on how we are going to work. So to me, their roles, a role of a city mayor is different from a role of a division mayor. So as a division mayor, there are so many things that I'm supposed to handle. And one of them, the role of a division mayor is,
we shall get there, but for now, you need to understand the reason that informed you to get into the race. Maybe another issue that your colleagues answered, what do you consider the priorities for Soroti City East? What do you consider as priorities for Soroti City East Division?
Yes, sir. My priorities go hand in hand with what my role is as a mayor. One of them, I want to disease that is killing Soroti City East and the city at large is corruption. I want to handle corruption so much. I am dwelling on the report, a report that was published last year, which was telling us that Soroti as a city is losing over 100 million, that is per month. And when you look at the 100 million Soroti City in general is losing, it is a lot of money. That money can help us fix so many things. So one of my priorities that I am going to handle is a fight against corruption. Because I know if we fight corruption, other things that we are talking about will be solved. Like when we talk about the roads, we need to open roads. The division has to open roads. And if money does not come from the revenue sources that the division has, that the city has, there is no way we are going to open these roads. We are going to talk about our schools, the primary schools. Most of these primary schools are open, and yet we are supposed to secure that, we are supposed to fence. So if we don't have money, if we don't get money from, if we don't save money from the if we don't save money from where we are losing revenue, there's no way we are going to fix those primary schools. We are going to fence. I am intending to fence the schools, all the primary schools in Soroti City East Division. If I'm given that mandate, then I am going to work on the roads. Most of the roads we are going to open and we are going to tarmac them. If I am given that mandate, then number 3, I am also going to work on the health facilities that we have around. Most of these health facilities, our doctors, our nurses are supposed to reside there, but most of them, when you go at this time, you don't get nurses, you don't get doctors. So you end up, instead of getting services from the health center, you end up walking a long distance up to the main hospital. So
Thank you so much. Keep it at that. Thank you for your responses. Let me get to candidate Solomon. We now want to address how do you plan to handle the issue of garbage in the city as one of the serious issues that Soroti State is facing. As a complaint that is everywhere, the issue of garbage. How do you plan to address it?
Thank you so much, Bwana Peterson. As an expert in health, we all know that if we don't, or if we fail to manage our waste, it will become a dangerous bomb to the community and to the society at large. Now, if I'm given this opportunity, waste management has got a process. Waste management has got a system. There is what we call a system of waste management. Waste is not just something that you pick and then you just dump and throw it there. There are channels of managing waste. The first one is segregation. Waste must be segregated accordingly. Take for example, I want to give you an example. When you look at non-infectious waste, these are the type of that are not harmful to the society. They are supposed to be in a black bin with a black bin liner.
Candidate Solomon,
yes.
You are saying what's supposed to be the issue is how are you going to solve the challenge of garbage in Soroti City East Division? We need solutions. You have 2 minutes left.
Of course, yeah. That's I'm trying to explain to you so that you understand what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Now, number one, the community needs to be sensitized about waste management. And if I'm given the opportunity, I will ensure that the community will be sensitized. People will know where to put highly infectious waste, non-infectious waste, because people keep on mixing this waste. The other one is ensuring that the dumping site is well gazetted. The one we have in Mayoral is becoming full. So we ensure that the dumping site is well gazetted, and then waste must not accumulate before it is transported to the dumping site. That is what I'm going to do if I'm given the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Candidate Wilfred Onyango. Soroti State is struggling with garbage. What is your plan to address the garbage issue?
First, there is already a policy in place, and this is the polluter pay that Parliament passed to help local governments manage garbage in the urban centers. And Where I see a problem is that the community is not sensitized, and you will see when you visit most of these roads leading out of Soroti town, you find that garbage is being dumped on the roadsides. What is the problem? Council fail to sensitize the community, but also, of course, we are supposed to be responsible Ugandans. Responsible in the sense that when it comes to dumping, there's a garbage. You, the owner of the garbage, must pay something. The challenge is that we don't have these companies around. The ones we have either lack capacity when it comes to mobilizing this garbage within town. And that's why the generators of this garbage find themselves dumping it just anyhow, and most especially at night. So for me, the moment I come in, the first thing I will do, sensitize the community on this particular policy, but also mobilize companies that are able to facilitate the process. Here, I think I've been seeing only one company. This one company is not able to move around the whole of Eastern Division and collect all the garbage. And that is the reason why people find themselves dumping it anywhere. So once that one is done, I am very sure and I believe we shall have a clean city.
Thank you, Candidate Onyait. Your plan to handle garbage in Soroti City East Division.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So first of all, garbage has become a challenge in Soroti City. Everywhere garbage is littered. So if I am given the mandate, if I am given the opportunity to be the mayor of Soroti City East Division, the first thing I am going to do is to look for money from any available source. Because when I look for this money, the first thing I'm going to do is to remove all the garbage which is littered in this town, actually in my division. So after removing all that garbage, that's now when we will come up with those plans of polluter pay. Because now there's no way you can bring the polluter pay system actually right now, because the town is already dirty. So the first thing we can do, let's first clean the city.
And the policy is already there, it is working.
Yes.
Yes, it is already there.
That is true. The policy is there. But this policy, number one, they have not sensitized people. Sensitization has not taken place. So that's why I'm saying that before we bring that polluter pay, we need first to see that source for money from every available source, so that we clean up the town, we clean up the city, we remove the garbage. After removing the garbage, that's when now we will come up and sensitize our people now who are doing businesses, our people who have homes and they don't have garbage bins. We will now sensitize them that from today, maybe tomorrow and so on, this is what we intend to do. The garbage, you are supposed to manage your garbage yourself. So if you are found dumping garbage anyhow, that's now, we will come up with some charges as per the policy what is saying. So that is how I am going and how I'm intending to clean up this town.
Thank you. I'll get back to you. Let me get to Candidate Solomon. Candidate Solomon, now that the garbage has taken us to the polluter pay policy, what do you make of that policy? The polluter pay policy.
But is it clear? The video.
What assessment do you have for that policy? Any recommendations?
Thank you so much. To me, number one, I think Asante Waste Management, first of all, has failed to perform its duties, being the company that manages waste in the city. Reason being, I understand what you're trying to do, but allow me to first explain this. Reason being, people pay a lot of money in the city as taxes. If you have
those taxes,
Is it clear?
they pay to the city council.
then
Now,
and that's why I'm coming in. You wanted me not to ask before you continue, but you said Asante has failed. Asante doesn't receive taxpayers' money, right?
now, the reason as why I'm raising up this, it's because the person who pays taxes has been pressed. You pay money to the city council, at the same time, Asante Waste Management will come and ask for money from you for them to remove that garbage from your business. You get? So, this issue will be handled if I'm given the opportunity. It is the role of the city council. It is the role of Soroti City Council to collect garbage in the city. Now, where the challenge comes in, is when some people who are actually contractors fail to pay money to the city council.
What does the policy say? Let's first address it, because what you're trying to say is contrary, probably, to the policy. I don't know if you, because I want to look at how do you address the challenges in the policy. Because you are again getting contrary, because the policy is that, I'll be answering the question, but how do you assess the policy? How do you look at that policy?
According to me, that policy needs to be reassessed. Reason being, it is not helping. We have garbage loitering in the city, and yet the policy is there. The policy is not tackling the challenge, and yet it is, instead of tackling the challenge, is worsening. You get? So if I'm given the opportunity, we shall reassess that policy, and if possible, we shall introduce new policies in order to manage waste in the city.
How will you handle that? Because the policy was made by Parliament, and at a division level, you're already supposed to implement.
That is the reason as why members of Parliament, the elected member of Parliament for Soroti City East,
Go and
are
get a
supposed to work
bubble.
with that MP, that member of Parliament, in order so that what we decide as council in Soroti City East is supposed to take it to Parliament as a request, so that it will be addressed.
Okay, thank you. Let me get to candidate Wilfred. How, briefly explain to us the polluter pay policy, and is it the policy that is the problem? Is it Soroti City Council? Is it a division? As in regard to the issue of garbage collection?
Like I said, it is already a policy passed by Parliament. My job as a mayor is to implement it to the laws.
My interest is,
Yes, I'm coming to
I want you to tell us,
Exactly.
what does the policy exactly say?
I'm going to explain that. The key issues in this policy are that for us who generate this garbage, we must be responsible when it comes to disposing the garbage. Now, council is only supposed to facilitate by availing or contracting companies that actually assist the residents or this business areas within the city to dispose of this garbage to the dumping site, but at a cost. So my role should be first, sensitize the community to get to understand the policy. Number two, contract companies that should be able to help the residents of this city dispose of the garbage. Now, like I was saying, it is already in place. My role is to implement it to the dot.
What is now the role of the business people, the common man? What is their role in that policy? What is their responsibility as per the policy?
Once they are sensitized, they should find themselves doing exactly what the policy requires them to do.
And that's what I want to know. What are they required to do as per the policy?
Okay. I know once the person is sensitized, he's going to manage his garbage around his compound. And keep in touch with these companies that dispose of garbage to the dumping site. You can make a timetable and say, okay, maybe every Friday we would have generated enough garbage for you to pass around and pick. So once you are coordinated with these companies that dispose of this garbage, your role should be all that is be available and pay to the companies what is due to them. Majorly, that is what I think.
Thank you. Candidate Onyait. You're a businessman in the market. We'll first start with this one. Where is the challenge of garbage collection? Because many times there's a lot of garbage around the market and the vendors will be beaten with the council. How do you plan to address that challenge, garbage around the market? And where is the problem? Is it council? Is it the market vendors?
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, I want to say the challenge lies with the council. And why I'm saying that the challenge lies with the council is one, council has not sensitized the vendors. Most of the garbage you see around the market doesn't come from the market alone. It comes from nearby homes. Those heaps of garbage that you see in the market is not being generated from the market alone. So instead of council planting some instead of council telling the neighbors around the market that please you manage your own garbage, instead allow them to put the garbage to the market. So it becomes a challenge to the vendors. I know the garbage the vendors are generating is not much, and I believe if that garbage is managed well, it cannot even fill one truck. That is a day. So the challenge is council does not want to sensitize people on how to manage the garbage. That is what I see.
So at the market level, you've never received any sensitization in regard to garbage management at market level.
I want to say,
and do you people pay for the garbage generated from the market?
Actually, I want to say, number one, council has never come to sensitize us in the market on how to manage our garbage. What they have only come to tell us that please collect your garbage, take to the dumping site. That is what the vendors do. They collect their garbage from inside the market, they take to the dumping site.
Dumping site or the skip?
No.
I mean it.
One of these days, there are no skips in the market.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no skips. So what vendors do, they collect their garbage, and they come and dump outside there. After dumping, that's when the truck will come and collect it and take it. So
Thank you. So, what do you understand with the polluter pay policy, and how can it be enforced more, such that the issue of garbage is history in Soroti State's division?
I want to say that what I understand with the polluter pay system is that for you who generates garbage, you have to find your own garbage. So, if I generate garbage, I must make sure that I manage my own garbage. So, but now the problem that we have is those services, those trucks that collect garbage are few in Soroti City. And you find that a lot of garbage is collected, but the trucks that collect garbage taken to the dumping site are few. So I intend to tell council that we need to add these trucks. If there is a way we can
Candidate, you will not have the money to add those, because you already say the policy is that you manage your garbage. So the budget for garbage collection is not actually there, because companies are supposed to be doing that as per the policy. So what plan do you have to sort that mess? Because elections are next week, you elected. There is no budget for garbage collection because the policy is clear, like you did explain. So how do you plan now to ensure that the city is clean when there is no budget for garbage collection?
Yes, thank you very much. I want to hit on what I said last time. I want to say that before we put this polluter pay system into function, first of all, the city has to source for the money. Let the city source money from any available source so that we first clean the city. Because we cannot bring the polluter pay and yet the city is already dirty. So we first get the money from anywhere and we clean the city. Then when we clean the city, that's when we will now come now to the vendors, we now come now to the city dwellers and police. We have cleaned the city now. So what we intend, now what we want you people to do is that you manage your own garbage. And you will sensitize them on how they are supposed to manage their own garbage.
Thank you. I want to keep note that the policy is in place. It is already working. Though maybe it is not very successful, but it's already there and it is happening. Candidate Solomon, is city no budget for garbage collection. So how do you now intend to ensure the city is clean?
Thank you. It is true, but as if I'm given the opportunity as a division mayor of Soroti City East, number one, there is a very big challenge in Soroti City. And that challenge, if it is not tackled properly, it is going to affect us and it will affect service delivery. And that is the issue dealing with the contractors failing to pay money to the city council. We have contractors here in the city. Take for example the abattoir. abattoir generates a lot of money.
We shall get there, local revenue. Let's address, I want your solutions on garbage when there is no budget.
Of course,
we shall get the revenue issues. Here's your plan.
Yes, of course, those are the solutions I'm looking at. That is where we shall get money from. Money that we shall use for collecting this.
Put it in mind that there is no budget for garbage collection. That's where I started from.
Okay.
So
now,
even when that money is available from local revenue, in your budget council, you will not have the money for garbage collection. So it will still be a challenge. How do you now plan to sort that challenge out?
Okay. The other thing is the community also needs to be sensitized. People need to be educated on how to manage garbage. Yes, the polluter payment system says you manage your own garbage. But how are you going to manage your own garbage? That is where the problem comes from. And that is the reason as why you see garbage also loitering everywhere in the city. Now, people do not understand how the system runs. People do not understand how the system operates. How do you manage your own garbage? You as an individual, you as a generator of waste. People will be sensitized if I'm given the opportunity on how to manage their own garbage. Then, for example, as I mentioned earlier, the categories of waste that we have, how you're supposed to manage it, how you're supposed to segregate it, how you're supposed to separate it instead of mixing it, so that it will become easy for you to manage your own waste.
Thank you so much. Candidate Wilfred.
Yes.
No budget for garbage collection. The policy is in place.
Like I
we
said,
need the town to be clean. How will you handle that challenge?
Like I said, the policy in place, we need sensitization. And I said it has to be implemented to dot. Now, when it comes to funding the disposal of garbage, the generator of garbage must pay. And that's why we're going to generate resources to transport garbage from wherever up to the dumping site. So, the aspect of cash will not be from council. Okay. Now, what is going to help us address the challenge of dumping garbage? Anyhow, we have the town agents, we have enforcement teams, and somewhere, somehow, I'm looking at a situation where we must have regular keep Soroti green exercises at once, at least every 3 months. Now, together with this, somewhere, somehow in Bale, I see a municipal court, and that court has helped to bring some sort of order in Ibale city. We can as well have ours locally down here. This court is going to help us do majorly 2 things. One is order. If we are saying no dumping garbage, you are arrested some sort of fine. And that means that we shall be getting some revenue through this court as we keep our town clean. So you see, these guys in the valley, that court has helped them address several things, including this 12 order business around town. So for us, if we also ended up with the same, somehow enforcement together with this court, we should be able to address the challenges of garbage.
Thank you. Fine. Thank you so much. We now get to address the issue of which most of you touched, and that is a very big issue here. And let me start with you, candidate Onyait Kamazes. All of you, I think you touched local revenue even before we got there. How do you now plan to address the issue of revenue collection, where the potential seems to be extremely big, over 10 billion? I saw the document said the capacity is 19 billion. Others said no, that's overrated. Others said it's 15, and just the other was 10 billion.
No.
How do you plan to enhance revenue collection to reach those levels of at least maybe even collection in financial year?
Thank you so much, very, very well. I want to say that, first of all, I need to understand the role of a division mayor. And one of the roles of the division mayor is to identify all the revenue sources in the division. After identifying all the revenue sources in the division, number two, a mayor supervises the collection. The mayor supervises the collection of the revenue in the division. And then number three, when we collect this money, we make sure that this money is not misused. This is one of the roles of the mayor. And the other one is, as a mayor, I am going to create an avenue where revenue is collected and not spent at source. The other thing that I am also going to do is
some clarity on that one.
yes.
Not spent at source. Currently, the policy is that the revenue is not spent at source. When you say not spent at source, what do you mean exactly?
What I'm meaning is there is a tendency in Soroti city where revenue is collected, but at the end of the day, this small money that we collect so if we touched that and if we really address these issues that I have said, because I know there are some there is money they collect from our flying school. I have never seen it being declared. I don't know how much the city division is collecting. I have never seen it being declared. And then also there is another declaring of revenue that is collected in the city. I had my brother touched about the abattoir. The abattoir is paying a lot of money, but I want to say, and I want just to clarify this, like some 6 years back, what we used to collect in the abattoir, I remember I was one of the tenderers. We used to collect over 10 million, that is 10.5. what we used to pay. But now,
per year, per month,
no, that is per month.
per month.
Yes. But today, the person or the company that they have given to collect revenue from Abattoir only pays around 5 million. That is per month. And you ask yourself that what is happening? Some 6 years back, when Soroti was a state of municipality, we used to collect 10 point something million. That is per month. And today, we are seated and they are collecting 5 million.
Maybe business is bad.
Yes.
Maybe business is bad.
No. I cannot support that. Because from what I know, when we were in municipality, it means that we are not borrowing our revenue source. And today we are seated. I expected our revenue sources to be borrowed. We will be collecting a lot of money, but at the end of the day, what we are collecting now is not rhyming. It's not rhyming with what we used to collect some 6 years back.
Thank you so much. Let me get to Solomon. You really wanted local revenue collection. Issues of under declaration, the smaller revenue sources. How do you plan to broaden the revenue sources and to ensure efficiency in revenue collection when you get to office?
Number one is accountability. If I'm given this opportunity, all the tenderers must account for all the money they collect in this, from these sources. When you look at the abattoir collects a lot of money and they declare only 5 million shillings. Now, the very person who is collecting money from the abattoir is the same person who wants a leadership position in the city. Now, just imagine that person gets into office. What do you expect? What outcome do you expect from such a leader? So I want to request my people of Soroti City is please vote wisely. Do not sell your vote because of 5,000 shillings. Do not sell your vote because of 10,000 shillings. That 10,000 shillings will cost you a lot and the future of your children. Because when you give such a person a mandate, when you give such a person a mandate as a leader, you're going to, in fact, you will get more worth than that. So, the other one is, if I'm given this opportunity, this, most of, is actually all the people who collect money from these sources must address press conferences every month. We shall organize a press conference, and at the division there, you come and address the media. You tell us what have you collected, how much have you collected, and where is the problem, what are the challenges you're facing as a tender. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Wilfred. Revenue collection. The budget is still small because we collect less compared to other cities. Our collections are really not good. How do you plan to improve revenue collection?
First, we have what we call local government financial regulations. And this book stipulates or guides us on the different revenue sources that we have in Eastern Division and this city. So, the first thing that I'll do is, can we look at the different revenue sources that we have in the city? How many are they? Which ones are these, but how many are they? According to the guide, how much money do we intend to get from each one of them? Meaning, we must carry out an assessment of all these revenue sources. That one will take us to the planning process. At the end of the day, we must have a budget and a work plan. Now, you ably said that according to the reports available, we are supposed to be collecting about 19 million shillings. I mean 19 million shillings every financial year as a division. But what is the situation right now? Our budgets range between 2.4 billion and about 3 billion shillings. What does it mean? It means that at least almost about 16 billion shillings is either not being collected or it is being swindled by some people. So mine will be, after those assessments, work plan and budgeted, we have to implement this work plan and budget according to what we shall be having, the figures we shall be having. In the event that the assessments are telling us that we have about 19 million shillings to collect, then we must be looking at collecting this money, or at worst, over 10 million. Now, what is causing us a problem? I remember during my opening statements, I said we have leakages. We have revenue sources that actually can either give us roughly 30 million. But in the budget, what is provided for? 6 million. What is happening in the other 23? Connivance between some Ugandans to eat up these monies, and there are several of them. I will give an example. Amukaru market here. One Thursday, you can collect over 6-7 million shillings. But what we have in the budget, 6 million. At the time of contracting, how much was the tenderer given? He's paying 7 million shillings. Look at the loading and offloading here. Over 30 million. How much is being paid to council? 7. There are revenue. I will give, for example, this mobile things. If you go to award, there are over 20. But in the budget, they have captured only 4. And what happens? The others, people follow and pick monies, which money does not go to the financial systems of council. So, for me, if elected, those are areas that are going to critically check how many are these sources, can we capture them correctly? And at the end of the day, we must find money coming to council.
Thank you. Candidate Anyanti, what policy changes do you recommend, or would you love to see change or amendments of the laws that will help Soroti State's division perform better?
Thank you very much. Number one, Soroti City East Division, its mandate is to collect revenue. After collecting revenue, we are supposed to declare handover to the city, then we give them our budget. So, I think as a division, I have to do my role. I have to do my role as a division mayor. I have to see that I supervise the collection of revenue. I must also see that I plan for my division. The rest of the things we will hand over now to the city. It is now the city that does the planning.
True. The question is, are there changes you want to see in the policies or the laws? Are there changes you wish should be made to ensure that the division performs better?
As of now, I am not yet into office. I believe when I am in the office, if I am given the mandate, I am going to go through this. And when I see that some of these things, some of these laws I challenge to revenue collection and so on. That's when we will handle it. But of now,
Okay, thank you, Solomon. Are there any policy changes or amendments to laws we recommend that you think should be maybe changed to help the division perform better or serve its people better?
Thank you so much. In management or in financial management, there is what we call evaluation, monitoring and evaluation. I will ensure that all these contractors must be evaluated and monitored fully on the way they collect the money, the revenue.
That's what we'll do. I'm talking about changes, recommendations, policies that you see currently. Anything?
Majorly it is on supervising these people who collect money. Take for example, as I explained to you earlier, the abattoir is declaring only 5 million, and yet it collects a lot of money, much more than 5 million. These people must be supervised and must declare the exact amount that is being collected from these collection centers.
Okay, thank you. Candidate Wilfred, we look at the policies in place, maybe the Local Government Act, and any other laws. Are there any changes you think need to be put in place to help the division perform better or serve its people better?
One of the adjustments that I would actually propose is to do with the sharing of revenue, and also, okay, if I may explain this briefly, the divisions collect the money. They send to Bank of Uganda through IRAS. Out of the revenues collected, 50% is supposed to be going to the city. 50% is supposed to remain at the division. Now, the challenge I see here and what I've been observing is that there has been always a quarrel between the division leadership and the city. When it comes to the division funds coming down, there have been always challenges. So for me, mine would be that when it comes to the funds from the central government to the division, some of these funds, actually these funds shouldn't be passing through the city. If there was a possibility of having these resources come direct to the division accounts, that will somehow help the divisions operate without this business of quarrels between the division and the city.
Is the only one?
The other one is when it comes to, like we've been talking about garbage, the market came along with a truck, and that truck, even as we speak now, it is not available. That truck is supposed to be actually helping dispose of garbage from the market. As we are talking right now, I think it has taken some good number of days it is not available, and that's why there is garbage around the market here. Now, when it comes to facilitating that truck, maybe maintenance, there is always a struggle between the mother council and the division when it comes to funding. Can we have a way, if it means the city funding, let it be very clear. I've always been seeing situations where there are struggles. There is no money here, there is what is you is supposed to do this, and as it takes time without being available, garbage continues piling around the market, and at the end of the day, actually any time you even see vendors again on the streets, if it is not removed. During election time, I think one member of parliament or one aspirant tried to remove those things, but now that elections are over, we see a situation where that garbage is going to be there for another 1 week or 2 weeks, which is going to be a problem. Can we have clear boundaries when managing such affairs?
Thank you so much. I want to continue with the local revenue on the issue of the IRS system, but I think because of time, we're not going to that. Soroti City is struggling with the issue of roads. How best do you think the 1 billion shillings for road maintenance, how do you plan to ensure that we get better with using the same 1 billion every financial year? Candidate Onyait.
Thank you. I want to say the roads that we have in Soroti City East and Soroti City at large, most of them are not good roads. You cannot drive on them and you cannot run smoothly. It is because of corruption. Government releases this money, but at the end of the day, this money disappears. If we can put this money to good use, we can work on the roads.
Yes, the thing is that that's the same money that will come.
Yes.
For the entire city. So, when your division chairperson shall hold you responsible for the roads, that's the same money. How do you plan that small money makes a difference? Because currently, we are still blaming the current leadership over the same roads. Now you will be in office, given the mandate. How do you plan to ensure that there is a difference, that there is value for that small money?
First of all, what we are going to do is for us to identify the roads that are affected mostly, and we shall put that money there. Because there are so many roads that we have here in Soroti City East Division, but we want to look at which roads are affected mostly. That's where we are going to invest that money. We identify such roads, we put the money there. We invest the money there, we work on those roads, and people will be happy. So that's how we are going to work on those roads and use that small money that government says.
Yeah, even the current leaders also identified the roads. We put money there, but we're not happy. Right? We're not happy, but you put money. Let me get to candidates. You want to respond to that?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Even the current leaders identified the roads which are not good. They put money, but we're not happy.
I know what happened with the current leaders. I think they had one weakness. Some of these current leaders that have interests. They had the interest in working on these roads. And maybe they gave a contract to their relatives. That's one. Another one, they failed in supervision. Because as a mayor, you are supposed to supervise. They failed in the supervision. That's why you see that those roads were not worked on properly. I want to give an example of the other road which goes to Achetwe. That road, they released around 101 million. They worked on this road only 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks. And the roads were impassable. That road was impassable again. So which means that sometimes the leaders, our politicians, do not supervise. That is one. And two, they have interest. The companies that they are assigned to do the work, this
was because this 1 billion they really don't give to contractors. The city does the roads itself. not contracts. That's what I wanted maybe to clarify. You are not, it's no bidding, because the city maybe borrows equipment because they don't have, and they use that same money. Solomon, let me get Solomon. When you look at the issue of roads and the 1 billion the city receives, what difference will you make? Because you're going to face the same challenges in case you're a division chairperson.
Thank you so much. When you look at the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 1, that says power belongs to the people. If I'm given this opportunity, I'll ensure that community involvement in some of these programs, most especially roads, the community must be involved in supervision because power belongs to them. Now, when we are commissioning these roads, when these roads are supposed to be commissioned, the community must be given and must be aware of the amount of maram that is supposed to be poured in that road, the kilometers the road is the kilometers that the road is supposed to be done, and then the number of people who are going to work in that road. That is it. Well, that is under that is what the Article 1 of the Constitution talks about. The other one is prioritization. We shall prioritize and identify the worst areas. Take for example places like Otatai. Otatai has connectivity. Areas like Aloet. Aloet also has the same challenge. Areas like Opuyo, some parts of Opuyo has also faced the same challenges. So we shall prioritize and ensure that the money will be utilized well, and the other one is fighting against.
That's what I'm asking. How will you ensure that the money is utilized well? Because those same roads you're mentioning is what the others also mentioned. And the money is the same, it is not increasing, you're not adding more money. And you will be in office. And we are going to hold you responsible. The roads.
We shall ensure that close supervision will be a key factor in this. Because if you remove 2 tracks of maram that is supposed to be poured in that road, it is going to affect. It is going to affect the project. So close supervision will be one of the prime factors in this.
Thank you.
And then before, just wait a little bit. And then fighting against corruption. Thank you.
Fighting against corruption. Okay, thank you. Candidate Wilfred. 1 billion.
Yeah, thank you. Victoria receives 1 billion shillings for road maintenance. But we have challenges. Almost, I think, 30% of this money goes towards hiring road equipment. Now, for me, I know I'm going to be elected, and once there, the first thing is to make sure that our share as Eastern Division, we have 2 divisions, Western and Eastern. I must ask for what belongs to Eastern Division. 2, time and again, of course, the implementation of this road maintenance is done at the city level. For us, at the division level, we don't have engineers and those other technical persons. But mine will be critically follow up and make sure that plans are implemented well. Now, one of the things that I'm going to be thinking seriously and urgently, I mentioned here that we have too many of these leakages. And if we tighten on those leakages, I bet you we can end up with this good money that can enable us acquire our own road equipment. A city like Lira, just recently, about 4 months ago, purchased a new grader, 100% from local revenue, not even a coin. And the minister was there to commission the operations of this grader. What is so difficult with us here? Our challenge is the leakages I was talking about. And if they are tightened, we can get resources to acquire our own equipment. And that is what will help us make the best use of this 1 billion whenever it comes. Once you have your own equipment, maintaining roads becomes just like picking a cup and taking water. We shall not be waiting for a grader once a year that must come from the ministry. No. The roads are eaten up day to day, the other day, and now when you have your own equipment, it's a matter of you just fueling it, and the roads are maintained. So, when a moderator, for me that is what I'm thinking about, and it will be part of my immediate plan. Tighten the leakages, end up with resources, allocate these resources accordingly well to areas that matter. And one of the areas is the road equipment. Either at the division level, no problem, we can get these monies. Out of the 19 billion, we can get monies to purchase our own road equipment, and that should be the way to go.
Thank you so much. Candidate Tonyans. Trade order is another issue in Soroti City. We saw guidelines are clear. Traders are supposed to operate in the markets, not on verandas, not hawking around. That taxis should be in the parks, so are the buses. Soroti City struggles with the implementing trade order guidelines. How do you plan to handle that challenge?
Yeah, thank you. It is very true. In Soroti, we are too disorganized. And what has made us become too disorganized? It is because we don't have organized groups. Me, as a mayor of Soroti East Division, what I intend to do is to organize businesses. Organizing businesses by forming associations, by encouraging them to form associations. Because when they form associations, it will be easy. It is easy now for the division, for the city now, in fact, to interact with them. If you want to interact with them, you have to go through their leadership. You call them, you tell them what they're supposed to do. So, first thing I'm going to do is to organize. We are going to organize these people, put them into associations, encourage them to elect their leaders. They should have their constitution. For a certain period of time, you go for another elections. That is one way we can. That's one way we can organize businesses. If they don't have associations, if they don't have leadership in their own various sectors, it's difficult for us to handle them. So we have to organize them first. And then the other, we shall now come and handle them. Now, anything that we want them to do, it will be easy because they are already organized. But as for now, they are disorganized. It's very difficult for us to interact with them.
It is difficult. But what will you do to get that trade order we need? Powerful, you will be division mayor, and the guidelines have not been implemented. How will you ensure there is order? Buses, taxis, borders, markets, traders.
One is for us to follow the guidelines that are there. If the guidelines are there, we need to read the guidelines. We need to follow the guidelines. That's one way we can handle them. And then two, we also need to sensitize them, because sometimes what is happening is people don't have their guidelines. We need to give them copies of these guidelines. They should also read and understand, because there's no way you can go every time you are tracking somebody. You need to make them know what they're supposed to do, and also make them know what they are not supposed to do.
Thank you.
We can understand.
Thank you so much. Candidate Solomon. Trade order in Soroti City East Division is a challenge. How do you plan to implement the guidelines on trade order?
Number one is identifying well-gazetted areas where we can do these people. Take for example, when you look at buses, Soroti City has been struggling a lot when it comes to handling issues of buses, bus companies, parking their buses along the streets of the city, to ensure that these people will park where they are supposed to be. The other one is to address the issue of street vendors. Street vendors.
When you say you will ensure, that's what we are looking for. How will you ensure?
Creation of daily markets. Creation of daily markets to address the issue of these people selling their merchandise along the streets. I'm very sure if I'm given the opportunity, I will implement it and I'll put it into action. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Wilfred. Trade order is one of the biggest challenges, and you candidates campaigning, that's one of the things you don't want to talk about. I think I've asked a hard question for you, because the traders are listening. How will you ensure there is order? Disorganized city people, do business anywhere, and nobody cares.
Like I said earlier, we are now in an urban setup and in the city, and for sure the number of persons who want to do business is growing day in, day out. What do we need to do? We need to have comfortable business persons. These business people are scattered on the streets because they don't have places where they can do business from, and nobody is helping them. You will always see situations where they are chasing left and right. So they don't want you here, but nobody is showing these business persons the alternative space where this person should stay comfortably and do business. Now, we have gazetted markets in this town. I will give an example. We have Mayoral market, we have Kambi Swahili, the Chinjaji, Kigandani, Morapesu, and even the bus park. These markets were allocated to persons who don't do business. And that's when you see those gaps. For me, as a solution to address challenges of trade order, is that immediately I come into office, we shall reallocate those markets to persons who do business. And that one is going to help us as we come to you to tell you that please, you're not supposed to be doing business here. Those are alternative spaces that should absorb our business people. Number one. Number two, for the case of the bus park, this park was allocated around 2012. But close to 60-70% of the allocations still went to people who don't do business. And that is the reason why the park is not actually being constructed. We are now about The business people who got spaces at the park have the monies, they have interest, they want to construct their lockups, but they are surrounded by persons who don't do business and they even don't have the resources to construct. That's the reason why this market, this park is not moving anywhere. Now, when I come in, that will be one area. And most especially, if possible, have it allocated back to the bus operators. Within a few days, you must see the park constructed. And once constructed, people must find themselves decent. And tell them, please don't park here. Their home should be what? Smart. The other thing I talked about, replanning this city. When you move around, many of these residential houses are turning into commercial houses. So can we replan some of these areas and provide for more commercial space for our business people? So those are some of the things that I think I will be looking at as we try to move you to clean up. We must be having alternative space for you to do business comfortably without any interference. And let's keep in mind that the very business people are the ones who give us the taxes, are the ones who actually fund our councils. So what do you need? Comfortable people. Time and again, I've always been seeing these ladies who sell everywhere around the market here.
Thank you. And is up on that. Okay. Thank you. Shall we take some questions? We shall take some questions from the audience. If you have any question, write the questions. We shall take some questions from the audience and those online. Sorry for that. Some questions from the audience and also online. Hand over those questions to Grace. We have one more questions and then shall crossfire. And for now, we want to understand how will you handle the challenge of politics. He did mention something that we have fights between the divisions versus mother council, and that has damaged the relationship between the leaders at the division level and the mother council. And that is a challenge, I think, in very many cities and municipalities. The relationship between division. Divisions do not do procurement, for example, it is done at the city. And that has been one of the key issues. How best do you think the division should work better with Mother Council? We start with the Solomon.
Thank you so much for that question. Now, the best way the division can work in touch hand in hand with the mother council is number one, ensuring cooperation. Ensuring there is proper cooperation between the division, for example, where I'm going to be Eastern Division together with Soroti State Council. The other one is there is a very big challenge, most especially when it comes to translation of documents. That's why when it comes to time like this of elections, we really need to look for leaders who are learned. Need to look for leaders who are able to translate certain documents. Because tomorrow you will send a person who does not know how to translate certain terminologies. And then a document will be sent. A document will be sent from the meeting.
But you know that a chairperson or mayor, you have the technical staff. Right? Yes. So the issue of documents is technical staff. And they are there to do that work.
And they will take it as an advantage of swindling money. And yet, you, the political staff, you, the mayor, your work is to supervise these people. Your work is to supervise these people and understand how the money is being spent, how the money is being utilized. Your work is to supervise town clerk, the city clerk, in the division. Your work is to supervise even the engineers, okay, how they are doing running the activities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wilfred Anyam, how do you plan to bridge the relationship between the division and the city? As we speak now, the relationship has been very bad since 2021.
What I need to say is that, first of all, I'm coming in as an independent candidate. And meaning, immediately I step into council, the politicking of the parties must stop. First of all, within my council. I know at the end of the day I'll end up with councillors from both sides. Immediately we step in the council, the party business should remain where? Outside there, and the challenges that we're facing within the communities should be able to unite us. When we move as a team, things will work out. When it comes to the mother council, I remember I said here that I should be that kind of mayor who should be flexible enough to work with whoever has been elected at the city level. Any business of pulling ropes will cause us problems, given that our resources pass through the what? The mother council. So we should find ourselves working closely, and each party.
Why do you think there are always conflicts between the divisions and the mother council?
The reason is that at times people choose to play roles which are not theirs. That is one of the areas. The other one is that people at times tend to politic from day one up the last day. For example, what we've been having. The mayor of the city and the division will never see. Okay, they will never sit on a round table and agree each time disagreements. So for me, I'm saying, if elected, I must play my roles as a division mayor, allow the other man to play his roles, but also be able to ask for what he wants to ask as a division. In the area that is not being followed, there are guidelines to help us address those challenges. Several of them, even when it comes to sharing of the revenues. But most importantly, unity is very important.
Unity is important.
Very important.
Thank you.
And compared to, for example, you bring in a council mayor down here, at the end of the day will be rubbing shoulders with another person, maybe who came in.
We are party politics and we can't avoid, but the others were even from one party.
Yes. So for me as an independent candidate, I have the liberty to work closely with whoever is being elected in all these offices. I don't have a godparent who will be directing me on what to do as far as the parties are concerned. And that's what also the other thing that has caused us problems. Other people have godparents elsewhere. Okay. And they will always tune them to do what is contrary to what they're supposed to be doing.
God the Father. Thank you so much. Your time is up. Let me get to candidate Onyait. The relationship between division and the mother council. It seems to be a bigger problem, not only in Soroti, but in many of these cities and municipalities. What are the issues that always cause these fights? And how do you plan to deal with them?
I know what is causing all this. It's only that some people don't want to do their roles. If only the division does it is wrong, and then also the city does it is wrong, we don't be having problems. But it's because there are people who want to go beyond their roles. That's why we see this relationship so hard. So I am going to encourage that I do my role. The division does this role well. And I'm also arguing that even the city also does its role. Oh, it is wrong.
Thank you.
When we do our roles, I believe we shall have any problem. But when we go beyond what we are supposed to do, that's where the problems come.
Well, thank you. Do you have any question for any of your colleagues?
We don't have a question to ask because there is no incumbent here.
There is no incumbent. Okay. Solomon, do you have any question for any of your colleagues?
No, I don't have any question. Any of them.
Candidate Wolf, any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead and ask.
I want to ask you, Mr. Onyait. I heard you well, and you're telling us you're the chairperson of the market vendors. Is that correct?
I believe it is correct.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Who is this person called Aliabu Sam?
Aliabu Sam is not the chairman of the Market Vendors Association.
What does he do in the market?
Aliabu Sam is a project of the city. He's not a chairman of the Market Vendors Association. If you want to prove that I'm the chairman of the Market Vendors Association, or the market vendors of Soroti main market, you go and ask them who is their chairman, they will tell you.
Okay. This is what I wanted to say.
So there is a project of council.
It is a project of council.
You see,
Vendors did not vote for him.
They didn't vote for him.
No.
But it's recognized by council.
I don't know how they came up.
actually,
Ask your question. You are done?
Is this really very correct? Because
How many
maybe
questions?
what I know is
questions do you
that
want
we
to
have
ask?
never held elections in the market.
How many questions do we have? Now, if we have never held elections,
Your question is okay. Let me respond.
Anyway,
Respond, Brilliant.
you're supposed to ask one question.
Respond.
And he's asking more than one question.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. I already answered him.
Okay.
So I don't have anything to say.
All right. Thank you. If you have any questions, I don't know, Grace, if you received questions. Are there? No? Okay. You don't have any questions. Now we're heading to closing remarks from our candidates. We expected the candidates here, and they were all sent invitations. Unfortunately, there's one who sent I don't know, there's a message that reached at one candidate, and he traveled to Nairobi. Incidentally, the man was campaigning in a town today, so maybe he flew out within an hour towards before the debate started. We expected Gabriel Ogire of the FDC to be here, Wachu Elias of the DF, Tom Okilan, an independent candidate, even reached here. I don't know how he disappeared. And the Latif Abdul, the NRM flag bearer. All these received the information. We don't know what happened. Especially Tom Okilan, who was here and again disappeared. We don't know what happened to him really. But we thank you for turning up, for honoring our invitation and coming to this debate. I now give you an opportunity, before I hand over to the MC later on, to give you a closing statement to the people of Soroti State East Division. And let me start with you. Solomon, yes, let me start with Solomon.
I want to thank everyone who turned out for this debate, and those who are listening to us online. We really thank you, and I appreciate. Please, I request for your mandate. Come 27th, please just go and look for an umbrella and your tea. My name is Solomon Ebru, a National Unity Platform candidate. I have a vision for Soroti main market that I'm willing and I'm targeting to fulfill. Number one is lobbying for a van for Soroti main market. It is in my manifesto. Okay. The other one is the generator of Soroti main market got lost. Where it went, no one knows. So I'm going to follow up that issue if I'm given the mandate. And then bringing back the land of Swahili Primary School. The land that has been sold, the land that has been eaten up by juntas, the land that has been taken up by mafias. I request for your support. Please come 27th, vote for Solomon Ebru. My symbol is an umbrella under the National Unity Platform. People power, our power. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Tonight.
I want to begin by thanking you people from the media who have managed on the web. I also want to urge the people of Soroti East Division.
His mic is low. His
The right
voice.
candidate you are supposed to vote is Moses Onyait. Moses Onyait is incorruptible. Moses Onyait is a courageous man. Moses Onyait is a son from the soil. I have grown up in this town. I know every mess. I know everything that goes on wrong in this city. So for that reason, I am requesting for your votes. Give me the mandate. We fix this I believe if I am given the mandate, we will propel development in this city. And my fellow vendors, you know the type of fight we fought. Please, I want you to be behind me. Every mess that is in the market, I am targeting to fix it. And there is no candidate who comes outside the market who can claim to fix the issues of the market. The issues of the market, it is Moses Onyai who has ever fixed and will continue fighting for you. And the people of Soroti City at large, I am the right candidate. I want you to rally behind me on the 27th of next week on Tuesday. Give me the votes and we shall fix this. We shall fix this city. I say all this for God and my country.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring my invitations. And get to the last candidate here.
Thank you very much. First, I want to thank the organizers of this debate and all of you listeners outside there for listening to us. Once more, for those ones who could have joined us late, Onyang is my name. Finally, I want to call upon all of you, voters of Eastern Division, to vote for service. Don't vote for money. Don't vote for parties. Don't ask for bribes. Don't eat the would-be services or projects in advance. Vote for Nyango Wilfred. Vote for the CAP. The CAP is available, ready to serve you, and without any discrimination. It doesn't segregate. Onyango Wilfred is a tested public servant. Those ones who have known him for quite some time, they will tell you that Onyango Wilfred is a honest Ugandan, credible enough to take over the mantle at the division. May God bless you. I say this for God and my country.
Thank you so much. I will come to the end for now and hand over to the MC. Grace.
Well, thank you very much, Peterson, area. I also want to say thank you